Welcome to the ISB show, covering all the greatest from the world of international football. My name is Sahil. I'm your host here with Rahi and Roy, and we'd like to welcome all our viewers from the Middle East, specifically the Arabian Gulf, because I know we haven't covered this tournament as earlier in the earlier phases, but we are there for you for the final because it was a clash of two very interesting teams, and it was a crazy match, boys. Let's get into it. The winner, of course, Bahrain in the match that just finished.
Only their second ever Gulf Cup victory. I believe this is the first time they've won it they've added this knockout phase to the tournament. Roy, this team is on the rise, my friend, looking good in World Cup qualifiers, now getting this big continental trophy. Look, the game was weird. They were lucky late, but I think they were the better team. I think so.
Yeah, they are really turning it around. Kind of a little different from Oman, who's had a lot more success in this tournament, who's had way more success against Bahrain. I think in the last 13 matches.
13 matches.
That's
man.
wild. That's
a
wild,
lot.
right?
That shows clear dominance of one team over the other. And then leading into this game, what an incredible performance from Oman against Saudi Arabia to get to the final with 10 men the entire game. That was absolutely insane. One would think after a performance like that, they're going to go on and win this final. But man, there's one man today.
Yes.
One man. The Kuwait Sports Club, man.
Indonesian fans know him well because he is the architect of that last-minute goal against them. What is his name, Roy? What is his name?
It is Mr. Mohamed Marhoon, the Kuwait Sports Club man. And he had I would call it a Ryan Giggs 1999 FA Cup semifinal replay against Arsenal type performance. That was the greatest performance by Ryan Giggs ever. I would compare this performance to that game. Incredible what he has done.
Interesting deep cut there.
That's a deep
interesting. but yeah, what a couple of minutes by Marhoon, Rahi, and I think there was a little bit of a shift. Oman made a shift defensively, which I think caused some problems because in the second half, Marhoon had a lot of space.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they got a little tired. I think late in the game, Oman never really got into the second half of this game. The first half, Oman was very impressive, I thought, and especially down that left side, right? Al-Mashrafi, and then there's the al-yahmadi, the number 10, that incredible player. Very, very impressed with his performance the entire game. But everything they were doing in that first half,
until he is, of course, the man who gave away the penalty. We gotta talk about that.
Fair. Fair. And I think exactly and that's fatigue is what I thought. I thought that the team got tired, lazy challenges, a silly play from al-yahmadi there to give away the penalty to bring them back in the game. But you can't. It's hard to withstand pressure like that, Roy. It's hard to. Bahrain kept coming, and they really give them a lot of credit. In that last 20 minutes, they really turned it on another level. And Oman was unlucky, I feel, for them. They were unlucky to defend so well and then give up the stupid decision on the penalty and then an unlucky own goal. But that's what happens when you concede so much pressure.
Yeah, it was a little more than unlucky. The own goal, I saw it as indecision by the defender of whether he wanted to poke a foot out, whether he wanted to let the cross go. He wasn't decisive in the way he defended. He kind of very nervously stuck his leg out. And for me, that shouldn't have been an own goal. That shouldn't have been a penalty. It was a penalty, but you don't tackle like that in the box with 11 minutes left in regular time. Oman was 11 minutes away from being champions of this tournament. And I would say deserved champions based on how well they played in this tournament. But man, and let's just mention what a heartbreaking end to the game. I don't know if you guys
saw the goalie. Yeah.
That injury was potentially, I would guess, career ending. He's a 36-year-old goalkeeper. It looks ACL plus Achilles plus ankle plus fibula and tibia. It looked like the whole thing fell apart on that landing. So props to him. He had a great tournament. Sad to see.
And they defended so well the whole tournament. I mean, really, that's what was so surprising this game is that for the first time, I thought that they looked a little bit shaky. And so did Bahrain, to be honest. Bahrain defended well the entire tournament, but they also look shaky. That left side was deadly for Oman, but ultimately, I think it's about fatigue.
Yeah, so look, we've seen these finals where it just a moment, if you look at it, like 5 minutes in the match, suddenly flips the entire match around, and that's what happened in this match. And Bahrain champions because of moments of greatness from Marhoon and that period of time right there. Okay, Roy, here's the question now, and this is what I want to get to as we finish this segment, because of course Bahrain, they're going to celebrate into the night. We saw the Messi cape come out, I think already, they're being crowned champions in the background as we watch this. What does this mean from World Cup qualifying? Because this is a huge boost. Remember, this tournament, they brought their A teams. Some of the other tournament, the Asian one that we've been covering in Southeast Asia, not A teams. How much of a boost is this for this Bahraini team heading into March?
I mean, it better be a huge boost because they are in a difficult position in World Cup qualifying. I think they're winless in 5 at least games, if I'm not mistaken. They've lost 2 of their last 5. They've tied the other 3. They land in 5th place in a difficult group with Japan and Australia that has had time to really think through their identity, a team that should be leading this group along with Japan, and Indonesia, a team that is rising and rising and rising. So they're in a very difficult situation. And then Saudi Arabia. So another team that should be doing better than they should. So they're in a hard place. But they should take this victory and ride this high and have the confidence and let it build them up to take them to World Cup qualifying and to get them a spot in the World Cup. But I think it's very difficult. I think it's very, very difficult to get it. They're on 6 points. They could jump straight to third because so is Indonesia and Saudi. Yeah.
Look at, they're on. Look at where they sit in terms of 6. I'm actually, because I want to be sure, but they basically are right there, right? A victory here and there, and they're back in it, right?
Basically, so the whole group.
They have 4. There's 4 matches left, right? There's 4 matches left for every team, and yeah. So Rahi, your point.
Third through basically 6th is all on 6 points, right? If I'm saying this correctly. So effectively, you're only a point behind Australia. Right. So anything can turn the tide here. You have 4 games left, everything to play for, and you have some big games coming up. Right. So I don't see why this doesn't give you a ton of confidence, and it's all wide open. Yeah, you have a game against Japan, throw it out of the water. You have Indonesia coming up, you have Saudi Arabia, you have China. These are all, for this Bahrain team, they're all winnable games. Yeah. So are they tough? Absolutely. Is Indonesia growing and very good? Yes. Saudi Arabia, new manager, but struggled in this tournament. I don't know, Roy. I think that if you're Bahrain, you have to feel very good about this because you have a springboard now from which you go in these last 4 games. And hey, it's yours to lose. If you do well, forget Japan, but in the other games, if you do well, you could find yourself in that 2nd spot easily.
Yeah. And they have Japan next. Again, I think that's a bit of a throwaway match. Anyone who's playing Japan.
Well, is it, Roy? This is a huge. I want to talk about momentum because this is a huge win. Like, you win a continental tournament. It's not that far away. We're in January. You're coming back in 2 months, right? Coming off this win where all the players have played together. And guys, no one's mentioned it. What a job Talajic has done, right, as a coach for this team. Like, he hasn't been there that long. This is quite good,
What is it about these Eastern European managers to just find a way to have success in Asia or other places? The Bosnian manager who I didn't know who he was prior. I know him now after winning this tournament. It's a huge stamp on his resume. And look, man, they look together. They look like they're playing well. They look a lot better than when we saw them the last time in World Cup qualifiers, wouldn't you say, Roy?
They look worlds better than what we watched in World Cup qualifier. But let's be real, Sahil, Japan is on a different level from anyone in their World Cup qualifying group, from anyone in this Arabian Gulf Cup tournament. Japan is a world-class team. So unless it's a complete off day, I wouldn't say that this game is a game Bahrain should be looking towards for being their huge victory. Because if they go in with that mentality, you should always go in to win. But you should understand who you're facing as well. And not allow a loss against a 3-0 loss against Japan to affect that confidence that you had from this game.
Yeah, fair. But there's 3 more matches, and I think that there's a lot to play for. All right,
very winnable.
Yeah, fans out there, let us know your thoughts on the Arabian Gulf Cup final. Do you think it was a deserved victory for Bahrain? And moving forward, will this help Bahrain make it into the the World Cup here in the US. Will Saudi Arabia rebound from this tournament? We haven't even talked about them. We'll talk about them in another video. But for those of you who are enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. We will talk more about this region, and we will talk more about that. Congratulations to Bahrain. Rahi, final thoughts?
Well, Roy, can you practice with me? Say the name of the country, please. Bahrain. Say it one more time.
Bahrain.
Okay, better.
What's the problem? Oh, I said Bahrain.
Bahrain, which is again the name of my uncle.
No. Your uncle's name is Bahrain?
It's a story for another time. But all right, boys and girls and fans, congratulations again to Bahrain, and see you all next time.
Beautiful. You know what was my nickname in high school, guys?
Bahrain.
Brain.